Hey YouTube, Ultra Magnum here, and today I'm taking a look at DX9 Montana, the masterpiece representation of breakdown. I'm going to score this guy in a number of different categories, so stay tuned to the end to see what score he gets. Okay, we're going to do quality first because it will make sense for the other sections of the video. So, quality-wise, the paint. There is paint rub everywhere due to blue rubbing onto the white. Examples of it pretty much anywhere that these two colours touch. There are floppy joints. The figure comes with replacement panels for pretty much the whole of the outside of the car. These were the originals. You can see these white watermarks on the red. These were very flappy. These are the arm pieces. I swapped those over and some of the flappiness is removed, but there's still a bit there. This leg I had to tighten. It's a lot better now. It's not as stiff as the other one. These heel parts, they are just floppy. Absolutely floppy. Nothing to be done with that. I'm sure there's some clever way of fixing a pin joint. You shouldn't have to though. The legs just open up. They open up pretty much any time you do stuff. There's not enough tabbage to tab things into place and keep things sturdy. So pretty poor in that respect. In terms of cleanup, you have the arms, which look horrible to me. I was expecting this to close over typical masterpiece fashion, but it doesn't. It just sort of, it just goes there like that. You can see the gap and stuff. You have screws on the front, weird kibbly bits on the side. You have a gap through the torso there. Yeah, it's pretty rubbish actually. Positive points, there are some. The plastic is very good. The plastic is very sturdy and is comparable to other DX9 releases. That's great. The bits that do work really work. The tension in the joints, etc. It's got a great ab crunch. There you go. That's another positive. But overall, pretty terrible on quality. 3 out of 10. Poseability wise, he can do a roundhouse. You have to fiddle a bit to get him there. That's not because of the center of the body. As I've said, these joints are very good and nicely tensioned. It's the feet, to be honest. The feet are horrible in terms of the maneuverability and these flappy bits down here. But that being said, everything else about his poseability, apart from the head, which doesn't rock back really, everything else works as it should and is good. He has a good range actually, to be fair. So I'm going to take critical points off because the feet, because they really are horrible, and one for the head as well. So poseability, 7 out of 10. Steadiness is okay once he's set down. He's not going to topple over or anything like that because there's enough kind of length on the feet there to support the figure, and generally he's sort of well centered, if you like, and made of sturdy material. The issue comes, of course, when you pick him up and you need to set him down again. You have to kind of squash him down onto those heels. Sometimes on mine, this leg is a bit floppy and the feet kind of open up. So I'm going to take off 2 points for that in terms of steadiness. So 8 out of 10. In terms of face sculpt, the details there and the paint colours are good. However, the red is far too shiny. He looks really sweaty looking. The shape of the face, I think, is also too small and too pinched. It should be a bit more elongated, a bit wide around the chin. So not great overall. I'm going to give the face 6 out of 10. In terms of presence, he has the look of the character. Of course he does. So this looks like breakdown, first glance. The issues arise in terms of cleanup for me. That's where the presence is affected on this figure, because you can do all the poses and that kind of thing once you sort out the legs and stuff. We've covered that. So it really is a cleanup issue in terms of arms and a bit on the side. So that's where he loses a couple of points for me in terms of presence. And also I need to take one off just on the kind of differential paint textures, so like the shininess of the face versus the matte in other places. Some of it's great. I mean, the silver looks fantastic, but it's just inconsistent in application, I think. So 7 out of 10 for presence. In terms of scale with my Optimus op leader, he's bang on in terms of height, definitely. I think looks wise, some of the cleanup kind of loses it a little bit. So that's maybe a point off, but certainly in height scale, he's bang on in my eyes. And just for completeness, here he is next to DX9 Capone, his compatriot. So Capone, by the way, is one of my favorite masterpiece figures. I think he's absolutely excellent, which is a real shame for Montana being so poor, to be honest. So looks wise together, they look great, they look the part, height, scale, all of those things. I think when you put them side by side like this, the finish in terms of paint and the general quality, for me anyway, you know, looking at the two, I can just see the noticeable difference in quality in Capone versus Montana. Final score for the Optimus test, 9 out of 10. Accessories wise, he comes with the one blaster. It's not particularly well detailed. There is some sculpt on there. It has this unsightly pin on the back, which doesn't really serve any purpose as far as I can see. It's just plastic, there's no paint on it. And he also comes with this thing. I have no idea what this is. It's not referred to in the instructions and doesn't seem to clip on anywhere. In terms of holding the blaster, it doesn't have the Masterpiece tab, although there is a kind of slot for it on the hand, which is strange. So it doesn't hold particularly well. It wobbles around in the hand quite freely. Final score on accessories, 6 out of 10. In terms of engineering, he's a mixed bag. There are lots of places on the figure where the engineering should work in principle, but just doesn't. So it's more of an execution thing. So the feet, which I keep going back to, pin joints are fine, as long as they're kind of pulled off well in terms of QC. I think some of the stuff around the back is a poor choice. So the sliding part on here, I don't like sliding parts in general. There's just too much chance for things to snap or give, or you know, particularly on your first go of it kind of thing. So not a fan of that. I think that the legs, the way they're designed, is poor. If you're going to do this, you know, have stronger tabs to put it into place. It's those kind of niggles, and there's quite a few of them. So engineering, 5 out of 10. In terms of transformation, it's relatively simple. It's kind of intuitive stuff, so that's okay. There's nothing that will tax you particularly in terms of what you have to do. The arms are kind of strange. There's a kind of a triple twist in the transformation, but it's kind of like you can kind of work it out just by lining up the blue colors, etc. This piece at the back is a little stiff at first. You kind of have to be careful when you're sliding that back and forth. The legs, just be wary of the fact that all of this is kind of a panel that you're making. So when you're tabbing this section into here, yeah, you just have to be careful you're not putting too much pressure on this part. So there's nothing kind of taxing in terms of the transformation. There's nothing particularly fun either. There's no masterpiece moments, there's no wow moments, that's for sure, but it's an intuitive transform. So it's just kind of okay. 7 out of 10. In terms of alt mode, the look in terms of shape is great. The cleanup is fantastic. There's not really anything panelly about it. And it rolls really, really well. It's got good heft to it also. Those are the positives. The negatives are unfortunately immediately obvious when you pick it out of the box, and that is the white plastics are a different shade, the blues are a different shade, and also you can see some of the blue blurs into the white. There are kind of QC paint issues around it, so the overall finish isn't particularly fantastic. So just to complete alt mode. So here's obviously the back leg of Menasor. There is a small peg underneath which you can unfold out. He doesn't connect straight onto the back here. Sorry, it's this way. The thing just doesn't hold. So with Capone, you actually get this small tab, which I think nobody really knows what it is until you get Montana and you realize it just slots neatly into there. That will tab squarely into the back of Attila's leg, and you can then reach into here. If you unfold this, you have to reach your fingers up to push the other tab in at the bottom, and that will secure in place. So he looks kind of okay. I mean, it's very much, you know, it's a figure stuck onto the back of another figure, so it's not the best for me. I think Attila's legs on reflection are probably too thick in one direction for this look to be pulled off in a great way. And also the bottom connection isn't the strongest. It does have a tendency to tab out, so I think that's a little bit of an issue, to be honest. But there you go, I've shown you. Also, this has a real tendency to just pop off, which is irritating. So final score on alt mode, the different white colours and the blue colours really bother me, to be honest. So I'm going to take 4 points off for general quality and the way in which it connects to Attila, which is its main purpose really. So 6 out of 10. So taking all of that together, he scores a pretty disappointing 6.4 out of 10. And that unfortunately feels right. The figure has promise in terms of the plastics and the paint colours, but the application of the paint and the quality and just some of the general QC issues, to be honest, really let this figure down. It's a poor show overall. I couldn't recommend this. I can't recommend it. If you need it to complete the DX9 Menasor, obviously you have to have it, but to be honest, he doesn't stick that well onto the back of the leg, which is really annoying. It kind of completes the annoyance factor. Anyway, all of that said, I hope this has been useful. Please like and subscribe to my channel and leave comments down below. Okay, bye for now.